Right, the nice folks at Need a Car are back this season, serving up a collection of the country's coolest cars. Starting us off with Steve's 56 Oldsmobile Holiday 88 Coupe.
Modern underneath, piece of shit on top. That's probably the easiest way to explain it to someone that doesn't really get cars. All brand new underneath, everything modern, easy to drive. We're keeping its original physique on the outside. So it's a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, I suppose you could say.
Yep, paint isn't in the pipeline for this family-friendly holiday coupe, the result of a 2-year build.
It wasn't so necessarily an Oldsmobile, it was something with a back seat, because obviously our oldest daughter Mackenzie turned up, well, was on her way, and everything we owned only had 2 seats. So obviously we want to bring the kids up. Well, they don't actually have a choice. They're getting brought up that way, so it was out and yeah, just found it and thought that would do. Body-wise, pretty much the way it was, or it is now. All we've done is just thrown a coat of satin clear over it just to give it a bit of a look. It wasn't obviously road legal. Been here in New Zealand for a wee bit, just sort of been sitting there. Just thought it'd be a neat car. There was just a draw card about that, and no offence to anyone, but over a Bel Air, because it was slightly different than your Bel Air as well, which caused a few issues, so I probably should have got a Bel Air.
No, off the shelf really isn't a thing when you wander off the beaten path. A hurdle Steve was better equipped to deal with than most. The crew at Steve Allen Customs' approach to the Retrotech GM hardtop would be just that, custom. And the Olds are product of the while you're there philosophy.
It's that shiny bolt. The one shiny bolt in the engine bay makes all the rest look a lot worse, so yeah. It definitely involved. When we purchased it, the back had been removed. They'd attempted to put airbag sort of set up in it, so we sort of had to start a lot there. Originally, I was going to run it with the original 88 rocket engine in it, but when we sort of started doing all the airbag work and everything like that, we decided that if we're going to run it through cert, bugger it, let's do a few more bits and pieces where the long-term run was going to go. So it took a bit longer, but easier in the long run.
Up front, a trusty LS1 now hangs over the Heights independent front end, housed between the narrowed chassis rails. Out back, the frame was C-notched to drop over a 9-inch diff with a winter's housing and true track centre. It's located by a custom 4-link, and the whole lot gets much more friendly with the terra firma thanks to a full RideTech Shockwave air install. However, it was important all this late model performance and reliability wouldn't detract from the very original GM styling.
Wanted to keep it a little bit modernised, but keep it within sort of an original look. Didn't want anything overstated in there, even down to organising a unit to turn the electric speedo back to analogue. So we didn't need to change any of the dash, everything original.
The exception, of course, being those US mags and the way the big coupe sits over them. Yep, she's lost a fair chunk of altitude under the knife. Even with the bags full of O2, the big coupe tucks those 20s well into the guards.
It's about 2.5 hours to change a rear tyre, so there's some fors and against of, yeah, modifying, shall we say.
The price of looking cool. Another unique touch on this unique car are the bumpers, Steve opting for copper over chrome.
Something different, and to be honest, that was more of a fluke. Had, you know, for example, the bumper bars had the chrome removed to repair them. Sort of saw an opportunity that looked really cool, so worked with that and carefully repaired and moved forward with what we had. And I think it sort of really suits the car and a lot cheaper than chroming.
And it's that out-of-the-box thinking that perhaps best sums up this Oldsmobile. But rather than looking like a pile of parts forced together, the result is a one-off Olds that looks and drives as one very cohesive package. And that's testament to the many hours of planning as well as the doing.
You can't just ring up the supplier of your classic car parts or get them in from the States. You've got to use, go back to the old school, the what's on the shelf, what's in the garage, or buy something new and modify it to make it work. So to a degree, that it is quite good. For me personally, you've got to enjoy whatever it is. If you don't enjoy the vehicle or the way it handles, then it's a bit like that boat that the engine doesn't go well on and you won't take it out. So as long as that engine or whatever it be, you enjoy taking it out and then using it, that's the important thing, is just get that cup of tea right, and it goes a long way.